Imagine stepping into a brand new theme park, not just new rides, but whole new worlds to explore. After years of watching Epic Universe rise from the ground up, it's finally here. And tonight we get to find out exactly what it's like, what's a must-do, what lives up to the hype. Stick around, we're about to find out.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
go! Welcome back everyone to the Great British Mickey Waffle. So we're so glad you're here with us today. As always, I'm not alone in hosting, and I'd like to give a very warm and excitable welcome to both Becca and John, as this time next month, all three of us will be in Orlando. I can't believe it's finally here. Really here.
What a thought. Yeah.
We would have arrived 2 days ago.
And John, it'll be your first trip without the boys, is that right?
Yeah. Their promo's kicking in already. It really has.
And they're trying to pack themselves into a suitcase and go, have you got an extra room?
Well, it was strange because a couple of weeks ago we did a live Wednesday show and no one else was available. So I got both the boys in to do a 4 parks in 1 day challenge. And they actually put so much effort into it. It was as if they'd actually planned to do that day. And I'm thinking, this must be really hurting you guys at the moment because you know that you're not going to be joining us. And I think it'll be a very different trip. My tendency towards roller coasters and sort of enjoyment of roller coasters, I hope doesn't get diminished.
No.
Because hopefully Alison will just hold the bag and then I'll just go on single rider and I'll be all right then.
So that benefits single rider is great. Becca, I know you've got your packing list.
Packing list is all written and mostly sorted. Just need to double check that we've actually got everything on the list.
Well, if not, it doesn't matter. As long as we've got the basics, we've got the passports, we get to the airport and all of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we've got some money, we can buy it at Walmart when we get there. It's a worst case scenario. If you lose your luggage, I don't care. It is one of those things that get you to Orlando. That's what I'm really looking forward to. And it's really special. And also, talking something on that's really special, we're joined today by Russ from Orlando Adventures podcast. Welcome, Russ.
Hello again. I'm back. It's been a while.
Back.
I think it's been about a year. Is it a year?
Yeah.
Just over a year, something like that?
Just over a year, I think. Yeah, it was last June, I think. Wow. Time really does fly.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be back. It's funny because I know we're going to get into it, but we talked about this in the first episode quite a lot. So to come full circle and talk about what we're going to talk about again is very exciting.
It's just epic, isn't it? I think it's just. I remember when we spoke about it, and we had all of their thoughts of what was going to be there, and just to be able to talk to you, see your first experience. I think it's just, I remember over the past sort of few years, like I said in the intro, that I remember seeing all of these pictures from Bio Reconstruct, lots of people going what, thinking of what this ride, what these lands are going to be. And now they're there. And now we get Disney's answer to it, which is quite interesting at the minute because they've lost Console Island. They've lost Rivers of America.
They shut it down.
They shut it down. Yeah, from a guest perspective, we've lost that. We've lost that, haven't we? We've also lost Muppet Vision. So it's Disney's going through that change. Yes, things are going to change. Tetra is now reopening this month. So it's a really interesting sort of landscape in Orlando with theme parks. And I think it's a nice shot in the arm for Universal to just bring to the guests. So
I'm going to put this out there as well. And Russ, I hate to put you on the spot with this, right? And I think this is possibly one of those moments that you think, "Oh no, I'm a guest on the show," and he's like, right. So as it stands, I presently don't have Universal tickets, right?
Yeah,
I've spent the past few days. Well, I haven't. My wife has actually spent the past few days looking at Universal tickets after I'd planted the seed in her mind that we could actually do Universal and do Epic. So that's kind of trundled on to the fact that we're now, she's looking at tickets, which will therefore mean that it's highly likely that it could be a positive result here.
Yeah.
But it's going to depend purely on your feedback in this show. So
Yeah.
you're on the spot. By the end of
No
the
pressure.
show, I will be buying Universal tickets or not.
So it's like
Okay.
convince John to spend more money.
Yeah.
I don't.
Which will be
I don't. I
difficult
don't.
because it's the
I don't
option.
need. I don't need convincing to spend money. I've half the price of me. I've half the price of my car hire, so I'm sorted. I've got
See,
money
I've
to
been doing
spend.
that as well, John. So every time
Yeah.
I keep thinking, like, what else can I spend that money on?
I know.
Because we booked our car hire through Alamo originally back in
Yeah.
April, and it was £800. We've now got
Yeah.
it with Sixt, and it's £390.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, that's £410 I've saved.
GGD and
And
bird bags.
And again,
Yeah.
I know it's a point that we keep
Yeah.
coming back to on the podcast, but for August, I think my price has bottomed out at £500 for a 3-week car hire
Wow.
in an intermediate SUV. I reckon it's bottomed out about 500. I did have a look again yesterday, and it's starting to go on the rise again. It was now like £700. So it pays to keep looking, you save money.
Yeah.
There you go. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me money saving expert part of the
I think that's one of those things. I think it goes with more things in car hire. A lot of more things now are becoming sort of flexible booking. So actually, it might be worth paying for the flexibility so you can cancel it. It might cost you a little bit more, but then the closer you get to it, because sometimes things go wrong and you have to cancel trips, you don't want to lose out on paying that, saving a little bit, but then actually losing more in the long run. So
Yeah, hotel rooms. They have to say maybe that's a future show. Maybe a
Yeah.
Wednesday show.
But you
we can
posted
do.
it now.
Yeah, I'll add it to the list. That's it. Sorry, Russ. We're just
No, you're good.
We're
I
in the
love
live.
it.
Yeah, because but the nice thing about this is you can do podcasts about this as well, and this is the bit I really like about this. Sort of, it's like the meat of the two British podcasts, and we have so much in common. I'm such a shared. I love listening to your show. I know you listen to ours, and
Yeah.
that's really how. I want this to come across to people at home as well, as the fact that this community that we're a part of. It isn't like sort of TVs and things like you're not waiting to be better than anyone else. We're all talking about places that we absolutely love, and I think
That's it.
that's the best part of doing this.
But we're in it together, aren't we? And that's it.
Yeah.
Because we all enjoy the same thing. We have a passion for the same thing, and I feel very lucky to be in this group of like podcasters in this space that we all get it, and we all get it, but we get it from a podcasting perspective as well. And it's so nice to bring this kind of like the content and the conversations to people. Like we're having the conversation, and then people are listening to it, and they're kind of like thinking along, and like you could be in your car or on your walk or whatever you're doing, and you're kind of like in the conversation as well. I love it. It's so much fun.
So going back to your trip, how long ago did you go to?
So I went. When did I go? I went in the middle of May. For a week. It was a quick trip, so it was only a week. For those who don't know, I went with a fellow podcast. Funnily enough, I went with Chloe and Stephen from Parks and Pals. It was a trip that basically they'd asked me right at the beginning of the year. They were like, "We're going in May. Do you fancy jumping on the trip with us?" And I'm kind of like, "Yeah, go on then. Why not? Like it'll be good fun. Let's do it." And then as we get closer, you're kind of doing your planning, getting everything locked in. A week trip, and I know I'm sure a lot of people have had this conversation. It is not that long to try and do Orlando. It's not, and I think
when you get travel days either side, it's so you think like, okay, I've got 7 days, but then it's like I'm losing like a day and a half for traveling.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
And I think that we had it in our minds from day one that we were going to do all of Disney and at the time all of Universal. Well, that was at the time it was 6 parks. By the time it came round to it, we were like, there's potential of getting an Epic Universe ticket as well. So we're potentially looking at doing 7 parks in 7 days. Needless to say, we did it. We did it, and some days we did. I think myself and Stephen did 3 parks twice.
Oh wow!
Yeah, on 2 separate days. We did double parks on I think 2 or 3 days. Like it was a mad busy trip. But yeah, what a trip! And May. I'm sure at times a lot of us have been in May. May's a lovely time of year to go to Orlando. Weather's always good. It's not too hot. like the rain's not too bad as well. So yeah, lovely time of year to go.
You get a taste of the summer heat, but just not the humidity and the rain.
Exactly that. Exactly.
So it's quite interesting because with Epic this year, you only if you've got a 14-day ticket, you can only go for one day. And I know, John, that's been your sort of concern of like, well, if I'm paying for a ticket, if I do I delay it till next year and get a universal ticket where I can go for multiple days, there's been flexibility. So I wonder how many people are going this year and how many are delaying to next year.
Yeah.
I think that's a conundrum. That's a conundrum, I think. And I think for August in particular, my biggest fear is that you pay the extra for Epic and you have one of those beautiful Orlando days that fizzles out about 2 p.m. when the storm comes in, and then it stays in. And that's the bit that and we've all been there on a wet day in whatever park in Orlando, and you're just thinking, oh my word, this is not good. Which usually ends up with us going to the outlets, which is never a good experience either. But that's the one thing I wouldn't like that first experience of Epic to perhaps be curtailed by the weather. I know that sounds very British and very sort of peculiar, but it's the one thing that really sort of throws a seed of doubt in my mind. But I'm prepared to be convinced.
Yeah. It's a huge consideration. I'll just jump in on that. Like, it is a huge consideration. I think that's been probably the biggest bugbear with this Epic Universe ticket from day one for everyone. Like, but if you're not an annual pass holder and if you're buying a 14-day ticket to essentially get 1 day of Epic Universe and have no guarantee on what the weather's going to be like or what the crowd's going to be like, or you turn up and the ride that you're dying to get on isn't open or is delayed, like. There's a lot of factors there which unfortunately are leaving people up in the air, and I think that is the difficulty. I was fortunate enough that when I went, it was on a pass holder preview date, so it was prior to the park even being open, and I think I went into it knowing full well that there might be the opportunity that some stuff isn't open. So I went into it with that expectation, that knowing that there is it potentially is a reduced park at this point. And, with that, fortunately for myself, came reduced queues. But the rain did come in at one point as well. So, I totally get it, because when it came in, it was basically at a point of, well, we can't do anything. So, what do we do?
It's the weather. You just have to wait it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was the build-up to your trip like, knowing you had Epic booked?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, like I said, we basically were planning this trip without Epic. Like, at the time, there was pass holder previews, but they weren't basically open for the dates we were going. They were prior to when we were going, and we were kind of like, well, are they going to open it up to when we're going? Are they going to close the park for 2 weeks? Like, we didn't really know until it happened. We weren't sure. The moment that obviously the facility came up to be able to get a ticket, we were like, well, we're getting on it. We're going to do it. We've got to. Like, we'll never get this opportunity again to be able to say that we've gone to Epic Universe before it even opened. So the moment that set in, and that was, I think it was about 10 days before we went, we got the ticket. So obviously for the next 10 days, we were so excited, so excited. And as myself and, Parks and Pals, as two fellow podcasts who have talked about Epic Universe for well over a year, talked with each other about it as well. And to have this excitement of going we can't wait to get in this park, and then go, right, we're actually doing it. Like, the excitement was unreal. Like, it really, really was. And I don't say it lightly. That excitement of going to a new park was something, I've obviously experienced in my life, but probably when I was a lot younger. But to experience it as an adult and go, you know what, I'm going to go into this park fresh face. And also, I watched no YouTube. I avoided everyone's Instagram post.
You did very well.
I saw nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. So I went into every single ride essentially not knowing what it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Other than obviously the concept stuff that came out years ago, some of it obviously ended up being the same, which was great. But in terms of seeing a ride, to this day, as a little spoiler, unfortunately, I didn't get on the Battle for the Ministry, or Battle at the Ministry. I can never remember what it's called. I still don't know what the ride is. I've got no idea, and I'm still avoiding it. So there we go.
I've seen the queue, but that's as far as I've gone with that ride.
There we go.
There's just some rides that I'd like to know that anxiety perspective. Just like, okay,
Yeah,
did I do this right? Is it something that it's more like trying to compare it to a ride in another park? So I know, like,
there you
okay,
go.
is that the level that I'm happy to go on? It's a bit like Stardust races or like versus Velocicoaster. It's like, okay, it's
Yeah,
comparing the two and working out
yeah,
like, is that my level that I can do?
yeah, yeah, 100%. But excitement of a new park, like,
Yeah.
incomparable because it's something that we haven't experienced in so long, and especially in Orlando, like since what, 1999? Is that the
Yeah,
was it?
yeah,
Is Islands of Adventure the most recent park to have opened? I'm pretty
I
sure it
think it
probably
is.
is.
Yeah,
Animal
Yeah.
Kingdom before that,
So,
like we're
yeah,
in late 90s
yeah.
anyway. So
yeah.
25 years, like, and since a new park opened, which is crazy, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
just can't imagine what it's like, because and that's the thing, like you mentioned about like there being vlogs and everything on social media. Everyone's got a phone, everyone's trying to film everything.
Yeah,
I think Universal did quite a good job to begin with when it until it was like the media day. So they couldn't but then once that embargo lifted, you couldn't open YouTube or TikTok or
yeah,
Instagram without seeing images, videos, pictures. And I think Universal has done a really good job in their concept art and how it seems to match. I know Disney have had
up,
some stick over
yeah,
the years where something from their original concept art doesn't look anything like the final product.
yeah.
But I think Universal seems to have sort of just given us the right expectations from day one, from like this is what we're aiming for and spending the time to do it.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
I actually think part of that whole preview period, and they were so strict with people who were um, team members at Universal as well. You know, people who had maybe thought, I'll take a couple of pictures and I'll put them online. And actually, they were sanctioned quite considerably by the company for doing it. And yet, you see some of the renewed test track, and you know, it was cast member previews, and it was all over the internet. And you're like, well, no spoiler alert there. Like, it's just like open the doors, and it's basically there's no sort of build up and there's no excitement. And I think Universal have done that so well in actually being able to develop that sense of excitement. And I'm with you, Russ, as well. I've not watched an awful lot. Just with even now, I still tend to just keep it to one side, just because I want to know how it would feel when you
Yeah,
actually go and experience it, and irrespective of when that is, be it this year, next year, 5 years time, whatever. I would love to have that whole bit about walking into a brand new theme park. Actually, really excites me more than anything else, and just like how you deal with it and how you lay it alongside what was originally planned. And I think that for a little bit. I know it sounds a bit geeky, doesn't it? But it's the sort of thing I quite like
yeah.
to see how it
To be
looks
honest,
in real life.
be honest with you, like that feeling is something else. I will tell you, like
Yeah.
having gone in there, having not seen anything, in detail or anything at all, to go in there, like I said, completely fresh faced, what was an indescribable feeling. And like I fortunately I vlogged it, so I like my reaction is raw on the footage when I see stuff, and like I have to cut out a few expletives at times. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I walked into some bits and I was lost for words, or the words that came out of my mouth were not were not PG. So I was, yeah, I was blown away. I really, really was, and I think that anyone I've spoke to who's been there has had this same response of like, we cannot believe how good this is, in honesty. So I'm very excited for you, Bo. Like, all of you. I hope that you all manage to do it this year. I really do. But we'll get into it, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. But we're quite lucky. We preempted our single day that we've got in August, but we booked a
Yeah.
trip for next January just to make sure we're in a week at Universal.
Yeah,
So,
love that. Amazing.
so but if Epic does come a fail because of the weather and things don't
Only
pan
got
out, we can
6 months to wait until we can do it again.
yeah
Yeah, and you got the backup. Love that.
Yeah.
yes. So then there's no pressure. We can like go and enjoy it, and I think that's the difficult when you've only got one day. Is what do you do? Where do you go?
That's it.
What attractions? It's like you're not going to get around all of it. So what do you prioritize? And
Yeah, and I think
that's the difficult bit.
it's that. I think you've got to pick your highlights. This like, and to be fair, I'd say this with any park. Like, if you're frequent goers to Walt Disney World or Universal, you're always going to pick the ones that you go, you know what, we love this one. We're going to Magic Kingdom and we love doing Haunted Mansion. We love doing Pirates and we love doing, I don't know, Jungle Cruise, for example. Like, those are going to be your 3 highlights. We're going to get those done as a priority. But like Epic Universe, I think you've got to look at it and go, what interests me? What excites me? And make sure that those above all else are the priority. Like that's all you can do. Because a bit like you said, I think the chances of doing everything in the park, probably not that high. Like, there's going to be queues. I don't think there's any argument. There is going to be queues. There always is, and it's a new park. It's exciting. It's it's going to draw crowds. Some stuff is going to have more queues than others, inevitably. But I think ultimately, if you want to do it, you're probably going to have to do a long queue here or there.
So I'm going to turn this back on Russ again. Just thinking purely selfishly again. So even given long lines and accepting the fact that you won't get on everything in one day, is it still worth it?
100%. 100%.
I'm adding my list here of pros
Yeah.
and cons.
I honestly, don't get me wrong. If you went in there and you got on one ride, you'd probably walk out of there thinking, I haven't got any value out of this. That is going to be the issue, and that's a risk. I think it's unlikely. I think the chances are you're probably going to go around there, you're going to do 5 or 6 rides. I mean, that's probably the reality of it. I think that, what is there, 11 or 12 in the park around that?
Yeah.
I think you're probably going to do half of it.
Okay.
And I think if you did half of it, you'd walk away having had an unbelievable day, an amazing experience. You'd have rode 6 fantastic rides, because I will say I genuinely don't think there's a bad ride in there. And I think that like obviously everyone's going to enjoy things in different ways. You're going to find that some of the lands and some of the IPs you're going to be more drawn to inevitably. But like I said a minute ago, those are the ones you're going to focus on. You're going to go to those, and you're going to hone in on those as your priority. But 100%, I would definitely say it's worth it, without a doubt.
Okay, what was the land that you were most looking forward to, and did it live up to your expectation?
So it's just funny because the land I was most excited for was Harry Potter. I was most excited for that. Like I said, unfortunately, the ride was closed. So yeah, and so I knew it at the start of the day, and obviously it was gutting to know that the ride's going to be shut. But at the same time, I was excited to go into the area. And I will say I wasn't overly excited about the Paris kind of section. So that's based on Fantastic Beasts. So I kind of didn't have much expectation going into that area. I was excited to walk into the Ministry. That's the bit I was really excited for. The Parisian section blew my mind. So straight away off the bat, walked in there and I was like, this was not what I expected. And I don't want to give spoilers or anything, but the scale of it absolutely blew me away. And then I walked into the Ministry, and that was when my expletives came out, because I was absolutely blown away. Like, walking in there, and honestly, I firmly believe, I'm biased because I'm a Harry Potter fan, I think that is the best area or section of a park that I've ever seen. It is so detailed. Like, I felt like I walked into the film. And it wasn't like you walk into Diagon Alley and you get that feeling, and it kind of that first time gives you chills. I think that scale wise, I said this to Chloe and Stephen when we walked in there, that Diagon Alley feels incredible, and it's absolutely amazing. But I think that scale wise, it's probably 80% to what it would feel like in the film. The Ministry, you walked in there, and to me, it felt 100% scale, like full scale. Everything is so grand, so big. Yeah. I was blown away. And I'm so sad that I didn't get to go on the ride, because that would have been amazing.
Used to book another trip, isn't it?
There you go. So yeah, I am lucky. I am going back. So, but I honestly, that was the section I was looking forward to the most, just for the Ministry alone. And like I said, the Parisian section added to it. It was way above and beyond what I expected it to be. and just brought it to a new level. I will say, if you're not a Harry Potter fan and you've never watched Fantastic Beasts, it might be a little bit lost. It's not going to have that same effect. It's not going to hit the same. And I think that I'll be honest, like if you ask a lot of people, it seems to either be originally between there or Dark Universe. It is one of where I've seen a lot of people saying they were most excited for. I don't know, could be wrong. It could, like Isle of Berk, it could be now, because a lot of people are saying a lot of good stuff about it. Super Mario is obviously, Nintendo's got a lot of nostalgia to it. So I can get people who said that as well. But I think that Dark Universe and the Ministry were tipping it potentially a lot from certainly one of the people I was speaking to.
I think Harry Potter's quite big in our house.
It's a huge in our house.
Yeah.
I am slightly apprehensive as to what the queue for the Ministry of Magic is going to be like.
Yeah.
Because as much as I want to do that, as much as I want to do that ride, I don't want to stand in a 5-hour queue for it.
No, that's the problem. And I think that if there's going to be a long queue in that park, it's going to be that.
Yeah. So I'm kind of preparing myself for the fact that I'm probably not going to be able to do that ride this time.
Yeah.
That way, if I can do
January.
it, I'll be
That's January.
There you go. Exactly that. And the thing is, like, and I will say that having gone on everything else in the park bar Curse of the Werewolf, because that was the only other ride which wasn't open as well, every other ride is exceptional. So whatever you get on, you'll come off it going, that was worth it. It was 100% worth going on. So
Is Monsters Unchained as scary as it appears to be?
I don't know if scary is the word.
Yeah.
I am not excited by like scare actors or anything. That doesn't do a lot for me. And I was a bit apprehensive that maybe it was going to be that. It's sensational. It really is. Again, I don't want to spoiler it. And I think a lot of people have said about the technology of it being similar to Forbidden Journey.
Yeah.
Forbidden Journey, what was it, 12 years ago when it came out? Is that when Forbidden Journey opened? I think it was exceptional.
Yeah.
This is 50 times the ride. I will be honest. It is, in terms of an attraction, it's right up there in Orlando. Universal have shown that they can do animatronics, and they can do them exceptionally. And I think that, because I've said this a lot over the past year, I've talked to a lot of people on my podcast about, Universal and their animatronics, and things like Kong look sensational. And then you go on Hagrid's, and then but it's a bugbear of mine. Hagrid's, I think that the animatronics aren't that good. It gets me a little bit. And then they've shown that with Monsters Unchained what they can do, and it's like there's nothing better. Like the animatronics are that good. So yeah, you'll love it. I can't imagine anyone not enjoying it. In honesty, yeah.
I can't wait to be there, and I think it's trying to work out before you go there to work out like, okay, where everything is in the park. Is it easy to work out where everything is? Is it? How would you compare it to the Disney park where you've got like the sort of like the spoke sort of layout? Is it similar?
So it is a hub and spoke setup. It's you like as long as you basically know that there are essentially there's 5 lands total. The main one that you walk into is Celestial Park. That is your main area. So you can walk around that. That essentially ride-wise has got Stardust races and the carousel. I can't remember what the carousel's called.
Constellation
Carousel.
That's the one. Yeah. So that they're over to the right-hand side of the area. The rest of it is all things to look at and places to eat. So it's not like you're going to get lost in that area. It's basically you can walk clockwise around it. If you wanted to see stuff, walk anti-clockwise around it if you want to go and ride stuff. But in terms of the lands, there's only the 4. If you went clockwise around the park, you're going to go Super Nintendo first, Dark Universe next, Grand Helios is at the back of the park, Harry Potter is at the back right, and then the furthest one round, if you were going clockwise, would be Isle of Berk. So like it genuinely, it's a really easy park to get around. It is a big park. I will say that. Like, so if you are over in Isle of Berk and you go, oh, let's go over to Super Nintendo, like it is a bit of a walk still. Like you're probably not going to dip from Dark Universe to Isle of Berk, back over to Dark Universe, and then over to Harry Potter. Like you're going to go into the separate kind of lands, and you're going to do the land itself. I think,
and then move on to the next. You're going to flow sort of
Yeah.
around the park.
I think that generally is more how the park is designed to be done as well. Like again, I don't want to spoil it, but the moment you go through those portals, you forget where you are. Like, you forget about Celestial Park, you forget about the rest of Epic Universe. You are in Isle of Berk. And you can't see anything else. You can't see out of the area. You can't see anything to suggest that you are in a theme park. You are just in Isle of Berk, or you are just in Dark Universe. And they've done that so well. And I think that you'll find the scale of these lands as well. They just keep going. They keep going and keep going. So you walk in and you can see stuff, but that isn't everything by any stretch. There isn't, I can think of all 4 of the portaled lands, and you can't see the entire land in its entirety whatsoever. So there's a lot to explore.
And I love it. That's a good thing about Sidelines, because other Universal parks don't have that luxury.
Yeah. Sadly, I mean, I've been able to see the Jurassic Park arch and Hogwarts at the same time,
isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. I love both, but it's still a bit odd.
Pretend they're dragons for a little while.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to hear about like what the preview sort of part was like. Was there many other issues that you found that disrupted your day? I know obviously Ministry of Magic wasn't.
To be honest with you, not really. It was they'd announced at the beginning of the day that Curse of the Werewolf and Battle of the Ministry weren't going to be open. So we went into it with the expectation of knowing that Stardust Races wasn't open until about midday. So we to be fair, it was never our intended plan to go and do Stardust first. Our plan was always to go to Dark Universe. We figured Dark Universe would be one of the busier areas, so we were always going to go there. And we kind of worked our way around the park over to Isle of Berk, which is the closest portal land to Stardust. And we're kind of like, we might be able to catch Stardust at some point if it starts up. And to be fair, from Isle of Berk, there was a couple of areas you can actually see Stardust. Stardust is so big that you can't hide it. And you could see it. And we saw one cart go round. And we were like, right, we're going. They're testing. We're
getting ready.
So we got out of Isle of Berk pretty quick, and we were round to Stardust. But that was the only time really that anything kind of like we were affected by anything going down or anything really. Okay. So yeah, operation wise, very good from the experience I had. I have heard some people have others. Don't be wrong, but at that point in time, being preview, like I think it was semi-expected. So yeah, good experience all around.
You go with that mindset that not everything's going to work right.
I think you've got to. You have got to, and I know it's so difficult because we just want to get on everything. That's always going to be the case. We're in a theme, but we're greedy. We want to go on all the stuff we want to go on. I think it was in that preview. It was a very unique time that I think you've just got to take it with a pinch of salt and go. We'll get on what we get on, and that's ultimately going to be it, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think that's what we've all learned over the years of traveling to Orlando. Weather impacts, technical difficulties happen. How many times we've gone to test track and then the thunderstorm is in the area and it shuts it down. There's always stuff that's going to get in the way, and you just have to just go like, okay, we'll pause in that, move to something else, because there's always going to be something else that's open.
Yeah, 100%, exactly that.
Yeah, it's not like full park is closed, but I'm so excited about all the technology that is in the sort of attractions, and like you mentioned about the animatronics, there's just, I don't know, last year was the first time I rode a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to go and try Stardust Races.
You can do that on your own. I'll go on the
you're gonna hold the bags.
I was exactly from the carousel concentration carousel.
Yeah. I mean, I can go into Stardust if you want. You might have heard me to
go for
it. Because I think Russ, I think what would be really nice is the fact, even and I'm thinking I'm actually not thinking of myself here, but I'm thinking anyone's listening to this who's actually going August, early September, and it's going to be busy. So if you are in that position, it's now getting down to you're going to soak up the atmosphere, but I think we said it before. I think Becca said it before about not wanting to stand 5 hours in a Harry Potter queue, and I completely with you because that would be a waste of a day. So, what 2 or 3? And we'll start with Stardust races because that actually really impresses me entirely. The fact that we've spoken about this and actually got it into just one particular ride that takes us away from the Harry Potter thing as well. So, tell us about that first, and then give us another couple of rides that you would say would be a must do if you couldn't get into the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah. So I can think of 3 straight away. You said it. I can think of 3 rides. Stardust races. Starting off with that. So again, amazingly, I avoided this ride, like seeing it before we went in the park. I knew it was a fairly big coaster. I'd heard murmurings and rumors that it was intense. I heard a couple of people go, "Oh, it might be more intense than Velocicoaster," and I've been a very big Velocicoaster fan, very vocally, like, I love Velocicoaster. And I kind of looked at it and I went, this is not going to be the same level of intensity as Velocicoaster. It's just not. Velocicoaster is the pinnacle of coasters in Orlando. I saw it and I thought, like, it looks sensational, but you can't see the entire coaster from kind of like out the front of it. There's a lot of it out the back of the ride and the queue line that you can't really see unless you look quite hard. And I was carefully looking the other way while we were queuing. Got on that ride and we did unknowingly. There's 2 sides. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a dueling coaster. They brought back the dueling coasters, which is a throwback to Dueling Dragons, which used to be an Islands of Adventure, changed to Dragon Challenge. Issues, they stopped at dueling over the years. They've gone these 2 coasters again, and they are dueling. So there is the yellow side, which I believe the yellow side is the more intense side. There is also the green side, which is, in my opinion, I found it a little bit smoother and less airtime. So we went on the yellow one first, unknowing, and immediately I will say blown away, absolutely blown away. Went on that ride with high expectations, but not super high. And I came off it and I went, I think it might be better than Velocicoaster. No, it's the first thing I said when I got off it. Chloe and Stephen went, "No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is." And I was like, okay, like, it's right up there. There's no argument. I think we need to do it again. We did the green side. So then we did the smoother one and rode that one. I went, it's definitely better. I prefer the yellow side because I prefer the thrill, but it's definitely better. There's no argument. Like, that dueling aspect is something else. Like, it's not really a spoiler. It's dueling. You know that they're going to be close. It feels close. I will say.
Wow.
It feels close. Like, on the green side especially, I thought I can see the other people in the other like coaster next to me. Like, this feels really there's a couple of hidden, I would say, like, aspects of the ride which I don't want to say about, which will excite a lot of people. They'll excite a lot of people who like Velocicoaster as well. We were like, right, we need to do it again. We got to do the yellow side. So we got to the end of the night and it was dark, and I was like, I love a night ride. I love Velocicoaster at night, Hagrid's at night, and I was like, we've got to do this at night because I think it's going to be stunning. The track isn't lit up, but the coaster itself actually is, and it's meant to look like 2 like dueling comets going round. I think that's the entire point. So we basically got on the ride and managed to luck out and got front row. So myself and Chloe, they decided that one of them would go front row with me and one wouldn't. So Stephen went second row, I went front row with myself, and we held our arms up the entire way around and got off it, and we all in agreement went, that is the best ride we've ever been on, without a doubt.
Wow.
That night ride did it. It tipped it like 100%. And for the 2 of them to have gone from we're not sure to actually, no, this is special. If you like a coaster, I'm prepared to hang my hat on it. This is the best coaster in Orlando. It is exceptional. It's smooth. It's thrilling. It's got different aspects to it.
Yep.
It looks stunning. And the fact that it doesn't lean on an IP as well is incredible, really. Like, because I think I love Jurassic World as a franchise and an IP, and it probably lifts Velocicoaster for me a bit. I love Harry Potter, which lifts Hagrid's. The fact that this doesn't have that to lean on, and I would say it's better, is a lot. And Universal have done a stunning job, and I just can't tell you enough. That is a must do. It's a must ride. If you're into
Are you
coasters,
sure you're not going to do
definitely
it?
Oh, it
I'm
just sounds
fairly
right up
certain I'm
my
not going to
street.
do it.
It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a temptation if you're doing in back bag if you go on it.
But that's ride number one. Ride number two is I always forget what it's called. Frankenstein's Experiment. Is that what it's called?
Is that Monsters Unchained?
Unchained.
Monsters Unchained.
Right.
Frankenstein's Experiment. That's the whole title, isn't it? Must do. Yeah, must do.
Yeah.
Literally, just to redeem this. The technology is called a Kuka arm. To redeem this technology from Forbidden Journey, where I think a lot of people have been put off over the years because it makes a lot of people feel sick.
Yeah.
And this is so smooth. It's so smooth. It doesn't rely on screens.
Okay.
It has screen elements in there. Don't get me wrong, but in Universal Studios, it was always it's a film company, so it's going to have screen elements, absolutely. But the fact that it's got these live props and animatronics as well, and it utilizes all of it really well with a fun story, exceptional. So that is a must do, 100%. And the land is stunning. The queue, brilliant. The actual show building, it'll blow your mind. Again, I didn't expect the show building to be what it was. So yeah, and experiencing that alone, pre-show, fantastic as well. So yeah, that's the second one. The third one, and this one shocked me the most because I'll be honest with you, I don't want to ruin it, but I went into this ride thinking it was a children's roller coaster, and it was Hiccup's Wing Gliders.
Yeah.
In Isle of Burke, and I don't know if anyone's seen anything about this ride.
I've heard some things.
I've seen a couple of POVs and it looks
I
good.
don't want to spoil it. And John, if you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it.
Yeah, no, carry on because it goes straight. Nothing sticks with me. I'm an age where it just goes straight through. You're all right.
You can see a percentage of the track when you walk into Isle of Burke, and I'll be honest with you, I looked at it and I thought it's a junior coaster. It reminds me of Flight of the Hippogriff. So I was like,
Oh, okay.
that's what I thought straight away. And I was kind of like, well, okay. It was the queue time was like 15 minutes. We were like, should we do it? Let's do it. We're here. Let's do it. Honestly, that ride is one of the best roller coasters I've ever been on.
Oh, wow.
It shocked me so much. And we all came off it again and all of us were smiling. And all of us were laughing the entire way round. And if anyone's watched How to Train Your Dragon, you'll know that soundtrack is brilliant. And that soundtrack is going the whole way round. So you'll be very, very excited to hear it. I cannot say it enough. It is a wonderful little coaster. Yeah.
Can I just add, and out of information passing as well, because obviously you went at a time where it was a bit quieter because it was the preview.
Yeah.
But if we're looking right now, and as we're recording this, we're just after Independence Day weekend in the States, and we are currently mid-afternoon in Orlando. So probably and on the busy day bit that I'm looking at, it's all marked in red for these. But I actually don't think this is not as bad as I felt it was going to be. So Stardust Racers are currently showing at 75 minutes, which is above average. And they say the average is generally about 40 minutes during the day.
Okay.
The Hiccup Wing Glider is 75 minutes. Average is usually 70 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But then also when you look at Harry Potter, that's 3 hours. So if you go, you're thinking about how you use your time. Stardust Racers, definitely. Hiccup Wing Glider, and then the third one that you mentioned, I'm looking for on the list very quickly, and it's disappeared. There we go. Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, and that's an hour. So that's 3 rides that you would be able to do, as opposed to queuing up for Harry Potter, and within that same time frame as well.
And that's not terrible when you think it is middle of summer. US.
Yeah, I think it's a busy week. It's a busy weekend. Yeah, it's a busy weekend and a busy time within every park at the moment. But that for me is doable, and I actually feel that for me is again one of those that you start thinking, yeah, that sounds quite promising because, and again, that was one of the things that I think I was made aware of was that by the time we got to the 1st of July, Universal were pushing the limit to what the attendance was had been quite deeply suppressed during preview times, and even at opening, they didn't go daft on it.
I remember the opening day, just watching on social media, people going like, everything's got a 10-minute wait, and everyone's going like, well, why can't we get a ticket for opening day? And it's just one of those things. I wonder how many people changed when the previews happened, because we didn't know when the preview dates were going to be. If you were local and you were supposed to go that opening day, but you had the opportunity to go before, would you cancel your opening day just to go early? Because I would.
Yeah. Like, if you had the chance to go 2 weeks early, you'd have done it. I think you would.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do both.
If you're a local, I'd just do both.
Yeah.
I sort of wish I was a local. I'd love to just...
I know, we're back down that route again, aren't we? We're all moving out there. Yeah. But I don't see this as being a difficult one to try and circumnavigate queues. And that was what really bugged me and was a major stumbling block in the fact of planning a trip there. And it would have been the fact that you were never going to get on a ride. Still don't have to queue up for an hour. But by the sounds of what you're saying, Russ, the queue lines are that immersive and interesting in a similar way to, some of the best things that are at Disney. That, if you queue up for an hour, you actually are going to be entertained whilst you're doing it as well. So it doesn't. Yeah, I think. I think I'm answering my own question as we get.
He's popping his credit card details in.
Yeah. Exactly. At this point, I want everyone who's watching on YouTube just to leave us a comment and let us know whether you think John is going to buy Epic Universe by the end of the show. Because I think it's going to happen. But I can't believe we're 45 minutes into this show and we haven't yet mentioned something we always talk about, and that's food. Did you get a chance? Did you eat much while you were at Epic Universe?
Not loads, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think.
He was too busy trying to get on every ride. That was it.
This was it.
When you do have all the rides, you don't want to be stopped for food. That's it.
I'm trying to think what I did have. I had the mac and cheese cone from Isle of Burke. That's been a bit of a viral kind of food that's popped up on Instagram. That was really good. I enjoyed that. Don't get me wrong, it's like an absolute carb overload. It was basically a garlic bread with mac and cheese in.
That sounds like heaven.
It's the future. That's it. I've heard that one.
I ate that very quickly and then went to Stardust races immediately after, and it was all good. Yeah, all good. I had that. I'm trying to think what else I had. I also had the butterbeer crepe from I can't remember what the place was called in Paris, the Wizarding World area. I can't remember what the restaurant was called, but I went into the butterbeer crepe thinking it was going to be a quick serve, and we walked into this wonderful looking restaurant, went and sat at a table, and then found out you basically ordered on the app, and they brought it out table service, and it all came out on like lovely kind of china plates and stuff. It was production value, fantastic. Cost was a little bit more. I was hoping for quick serve crepe, and I think I paid best part of $23 or $24 for it.
Okay.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. I wouldn't have it every time. It was exceptionally sweet, as you can imagine, with butterbeer. It was like a crepe filled with butterbeer cream with butterbeer drizzle over the top, with a butterbeer biscuit on it. Like, it was, if you wanted butterbeer, it had it. But very, very good. And like, as an experience, like lovely experience. And then I did have a drink over in Dark Universe. It was called the Monocane, I believe. It was the again, like the viral kind of drink, the one in the vial. It's a green drink in the vial that I was told by the bartender that apparently is the drink that makes the Invisible Man turn invisible.
Okay.
I didn't go invisible.
Yeah, so I want the money back. It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work for me. But yeah, that was like a mocktail. It was like a citrusy kind of green fruit and syrup kind of mocktail. It was lovely, absolutely lovely. And I will say that I had 3 different things. I wanted to try different stuff. Obviously, it's difficult because you're trying to do all the rides, you're trying to soak in the park. Like, if I had more time in the park, if I had 2 days in the park, then I probably would have had the experience of going and having like a proper sit down lunch or dinner in the park, which would have been lovely. But the 3 things I had were really good, and I will say that Universal have upped their game. There's no argument. Like, all 3 of the items I ate were probably better than any of the foods that are on offer in Universal Islands of Adventure, in my opinion.
Okay.
So yeah, really good. Was very, very impressed and excited to try more of the foods out as well, because I know there's a few in Dark Universe. I think there's like a garlic. I want to say there's like a garlic breadsticks or something situation over there, which is going to be very good. And I mean, I haven't seen the best reviews about the stuff over in Super Nintendo, if I'm honest with you. I'm a bit picky. I don't like a mushroom, and there seems to be mushrooms on everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of mushroom.
Yeah, which is a little bit of a shame, because I don't think you can alter any of the meals.
No, I think it is probably
you can take it off,
but
but you can't customize it prior to ordering, which I feel is a little bit strange in this day and age when I think a lot of people customize foods.
And then there's so many apps now give you the opportunity to, like, when you're on there, it's like, oh, I don't want this, I don't want lettuce, I don't want mushrooms, I don't want this. It's like, it's something that I can see probably why they've done it, especially at the moment, because it's busy, it's going to be, but maybe they can amend that over time.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I was very impressed with the food and drink options, 100%.
I can't wait. And I know we're going middle of August, and I'm expecting the weather to be very August-like.
Yeah,
So I'm just going to be warm. That mac and cheese bowl is cone is going to stay very.
Yeah.
I will say, and I didn't necessarily notice this when I was in the park, because I was so fixed on trying to get on rides. There is not that much shade in the park, and a lot of people have said this to me afterwards, and I kind of didn't think about it at the time. And the more I think about it now, I'm like, actually, it is not that shaded a park. So I will say that going in August, like, just be a bit wary.
Take a hat.
Yeah, definitely, because I think a lot of people have said it, and I think that it's going to be very hot on those really hot days, like that. That is going to be difficult to get out of the sun at times on some stuff.
It's possible to being such a new park, because the trees at their stage now, where over years it's going to get to a point where there's going to be more shade.
It will.
Yeah.
And to be fair, off the back of that, I will say I was so impressed when I walked in the park, because it did feel complete. Like 100%. It felt like all of the landscaping was done. It had been established. It had been there for a long time. Obviously, trees take longer. Like, the trees are going to take more, longer to grow. But in terms of, like, the flowers, the beds, the grass areas, stunning, absolutely stunning. And that it's very clear that they thought about all of that stuff, not at the beginning of this year. They thought about it years ago.
Yeah.
And they went, let's get this stuff in the park established before we put everything else around. So the Celestial Park area especially is very well established, which I was really impressed with.
Which of the lands had the best atmosphere?
Well, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Because part of me thinks, like, to me, from what I've heard of what I've seen, part of me thinks like Isle of Berg, especially with that score of Australian Dragon.
I think I'd agree, and I think this is going to change with different people again as well. Dark Universe, I felt, was a stunning area, but and there were a few actors walking around. There's a violinist who walks around. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't that busy when I went in the area, so it didn't feel like there was that much going on in Dark Universe. Curse of the Werewolf wasn't open, so it wasn't drawing as much crowd in that area. Like, the Harry Potter area, like, it was very busy, but it's a big area, like, so the crowds were dispersed. Isle of Berg felt like a bit of a vibe. It felt like there was, like, a bit of a buzz. And it's a big area. It's quite exciting. It's very colourful. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. There's free rides and a show. There's restaurants. There's all loads of fun stuff going on in there at once. So I think Isle of Burt. The other argument that some people will probably have is Super Nintendo. I enjoyed Super Nintendo, but I will say it's a lot. It is a lot. There's a lot happening in there.
Yeah.
And if you're not keen on a crowd and you're not keen on a lot of people in one area, Super Nintendo is probably not the one for you. It's definitely pulling the younger audience without a doubt. And I think like there's no argument we'll all enjoy it as adults and we'll see stuff and be like, yeah, I recognise that from, games from however long ago or the current ones. And like it's all very recognisable. And it looks stunning. Like absolutely no argument, but it did feel busy. I will say it did feel busy, and it's on different tiers, and it felt. I will say it rained really, really hard when just as we went into Super Nintendo, and to get to the lower levels, you have to walk down some quite steep steps, which felt a baffling choice. To be absolutely honest with you, in a theme park where it is going to rain at times.
It's going to become very slippery.
It definitely is.
That's one of the things that I have seen is people within that area after a rainstorm being basically just falling flat on their face. Because, and I think, again, just purely the way that they're trying to get the colour into the actual the flooring, it's just made it. It's got a layer that just doesn't quite work with it. So yeah. But again, a little warning out there to anyone listening.
There you go.
Safe from Nintendo. yeah. There you go. That's me health and safety. Health and safety for the year done there. So.
He's done his money saving expert and he's done his health and safety in one episode.
I've got visions of the next show, John coming on with like a hard hat and high vis.
Never.
And a clipboard.
I would never do. That's one thing in life I absolutely despise.
But yeah, I think in terms of the land, definitely Isle of Burke, and Isle of Burke was the land that surprised me the most. I don't think there's any argument at all. Like it's an exciting land, and I think genuinely they've got this balance between a younger audience and an older audience being able to enjoy this very, very easily together. And I don't think it matters what age you are, you will enjoy this area. I think your experience will be heightened having watched How to Train Your Dragon, 100%. So I would recommend to anyone to watch it so that you're like at least aware of what this land is about, because otherwise it's going to feel baffling.
It's confused by Vikings and dragons. It's
going to feel very weird.
Is this Game of Thrones? Or?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, loved Isle of Burke. Absolutely loved it.
So you said you're booked to go again.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do or focus on differently next time?
So I'm going in about a month's time. What's the date today? 7th. I go to Epic Universe a month tomorrow.
Wow.
So yeah, a month tomorrow is when I will be in Epic Universe again, but I'm going with my brother this time. So it'll be his first experience of going to Epic Universe. I will try and point him in the direction of things that I think he will like. He's got a very similar taste to me. He's going to be very much Stardust Racers. He'll enjoy Hiccups. He'll enjoy Dark Universe. Like, I will say, and I haven't talked about it a lot, but I wasn't overly wowed by Super Nintendo.
Yep.
And that I will say, and that is a personal preference. I think I went into that land with probably the highest expectation. I expected Donkey Kong to be amazing different technology.
Yep.
It just didn't land for me. I don't know what it was. It didn't hit the same way I thought it was going to. I remember seeing the concept for that ride 5-6 years ago and thinking, what an amazing concept. And the idea of it is brilliant. And then going on it just something didn't land for me. And I just don't know what it was. And I will say the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, I think if you know what you're doing on it, I think you'll get enjoyment. But and I will say that there's instructions all the way through the queue. And I'll be honest, I don't think we really read many of them because we were chatting. So by the time we got on the ride, we were kind of like, what is going on? Like, what are they doing? So I will say, have a bit of a read at some of the signs because it will tell you more what to do. And I think you'll get a better experience out of that as well. but yeah, in just in terms of these lands, they're amazing, and I think just my way of approaching this park is definitely going to be Harry Potter as a priority, because I didn't get to do it. It's got to be that is going to be the priority for myself.
Yeah.
And that and Stardust races. I'll be very, very happy if I walked out of the park having done both of those. So yeah, that's the plan. That's what I'm going to be doing.
I love that we all have very short countdowns. It's going to be great.
Yeah, very.
John, how's that ticket going? Ticket purchasing going?
Yeah, I think I'm just actually I'm now looking at queue times and comparing queue times between different Universal parks as well. And so, having mentioned the ones that are in Epic at the moment, the actual wait times for the other Universal parks are exceptionally low. And so, even the two Harry Potter in both of the other parks are less than an hour. And so, when you're thinking, and then Velocicoaster's a decent time, I think that's 65 minutes at the minute. So, putting up with a big park that is queued out is actually balanced by the fact that if you've got a Universal ticket, you're actually going to be able to enjoy lesser queues elsewhere. And I think I would also include sort of Disney parks into that as well, because I think we've said this for in fact, probably the first time that you were on, Russ, as well.
Yeah.
It's very much the fact this summer is going to be one where Universal are going to suck an awful lot of crowd away from Disney, and it'd be fascinating to watch it. I've already tried to look on touring plans at renewing my subscription with them, just only so I can just sit there and actually just look at it and just go, that's where it's costing other people, other parks. Because there's only a finite amount of people you can actually have going to a theme park in the Orlando area, isn't there? So, and they're not all going to be going to SeaWorld and Discovery Cove.
We're lucky we're annual pass holders, so we got the single day Epic that we bought, which we know we can buy additional.
There is a way around that, Ben, and I think this is maybe worth putting into the mix as well, because obviously in my thrift side of the show, if you only want to go and do Epic Universe and you'll only do 3 or 4 days at Universal, if you go onto their website and pay in dollars, or go on or download the Universal Orlando app, you can do it on their app as well. But you actually are paying less than getting the 14-day UK ticket. And again, if you've got a Disney ticket and you know that you're limited time within Universal, it means that you're not wasting money on having 14 days that you probably will. I certainly we wouldn't use 14 days going to Universal, and I think
that's a very good tip.
Actually, a way of just capping. It's not cheap. I'm not going to say this, but it could save you. I think we're looking at the difference between the 14-day ticket and a 4-day. 4-day Universal plus 1 day at Epic. I think the difference works out at about £250 per person. So just do the maths. The Universal ticket can be only used over a shorter period of time. It can't be used over 14 days, obviously. But I think if you do go to the 4-day option, it's over 7 days. But again, just a way of saving yourself a little bit of ticket money as well, because we don't want to pay for stuff that we're not going to use.
Yeah, and we rebooked our Disney tickets this year because one thing that is quite useful, the exchange rates started to improve. So booking in dollars is actually a better value. So we booked through OrlandoAttractions.com, and they let you choose whether you pay in pounds or whether you pay in dollars. And we rebooked our Disney tickets for next month, and for 14 nights, it was £390 each.
Oh wow!
Which I can't remember.
That's since pre-pandemic.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that, because Disney reduced the prices for this summer because of Epic, I think, trying to bring more people in, and it's just coincided with an increase in the exchange rate. So,
no, it's good. And it's good to be British and actually be involved in that. And I think as well, there's so much negativity coming out from a lot of people politically about we're going to America. You're not going back into sort of the middle of a a non-developed country. I'm trying to pick my words very carefully here. You are going to a developed country. You're going to a place where there is theme parks. You are not going to get embroiled within all of the hoo-ha that certain people try to make a big thing of in the press in this country. So, you read an awful lot of people just deciding not going altogether. Which I went the year after 9/11, and we got if you go into that mindset of you can't travel anywhere, you wouldn't go out, you wouldn't leave your house. So go and plan a trip of a lifetime. That's the thing for it.
Life's too
Go to
short.
Orlando.
Exactly.
Go to Epic Universe, John.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and I think that, I think this goes without even having to question this. We've done, as I put it out at the very start, this is just like, you've actually excited me so much. But I've got a list here of things that I need to do. I would still love to do the Harry Potter bit, and I might just accept that is something that for the future. And a little bit like when the original Harry Potter stuff opened, and then when the expansion opened, that summer when they did open was just a non-starter. You just accept it, and you have to move on from that and just say, put your hands up and just go, well, look, that'll do for another time. But there's so much else here. It's not just a land expansion that we've been used to with like Flight of Passage, where you got 5-hour queues for that the summer it opened. This is exciting because it's actually, you've got other stuff going on within a park, and I think
it's not like everyone's in one queue. I remember the queue for Hagrid's on its opening day was like 10+ hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can see why people queue for it, but it is just one attraction.
Yeah.
At least here, there's multiple things that you can do.
And it's probably why the queue for the Battle at the Ministry is not getting as high as it could.
Yeah.
Because there are other things for people to do.
Yeah, because there's some people like us that are looking at the queue time and going like, I'll go somewhere else. I'll look at another attraction. They've got that.
Well, I'll jump on it 5 minutes before closing and see how bad the queue is then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But Ross, I want to say a huge thank you for giving us this first glimpse inside Epic Universe. It sounds absolutely incredible, and we're all itching to get there now.
Definitely. It's my pleasure. I will say, and I don't want to big this up too much. I've said this a few times on my podcast. I've said it on Parks and Pals as well. I think it's the best park in Orlando. I'm going to throw it out there.
Okay.
I think it's that good. I'll be honest, it should be. It's a purpose-built park in 2025 where everything you put in there should be current. It should be what people are looking for. It's the most up-to-date technology. It's fresh. It's new. You can build things on the biggest scale you want. Like, it should be the best park. I don't think there's an argument. It doesn't have nostalgia, and it will never have, it's not going to have nostalgia for 20 years. Like, there's no argument. But in terms of a well-rounded park that everyone can enjoy, and there's something for everyone, and there are rides that you won't get anywhere else, this is the park. It really is. I cannot wait for you all to do it. And that honestly, walking through the Kronos for the first time is a feeling unmatched. It really is. I think you'll be blown away. I'm very, very excited to hear about
We're
it.
going to have to vlog that day, aren't we?
Yeah.
We just need to get our own
Definitely.
experience and just
100%.
bleep out the expletives that are going to happen that
There
day.
you go.
I imagine there'll probably be some crying.
There'll be a bleep reel next January. Like, that happened on the plane to Explain.
Oh, amazing. But yeah, thank you. Honestly, thank you so much. Like, I've really enjoyed it. Any opportunity to talk about Orlando, but especially Epic Universe, like, getting to be able to talk about a new park is exciting. And, I feel very fortunate that I managed to go there before it even opened. Like, I feel, beyond fortunate that I managed to do that. And obviously very lucky that I'm managing to go there again, next month, which feels mad at this point.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, but yeah, can't wait to get back out there again. Cannot wait.
I remember when they announced the preview dates, and like we'd already had Disneyland booked for the first week of May, and we're going like, damn it, we've just booked the wrong coast. Why are we in Disneyland? We should be in Orlando to get into Epic. But you know what? I'm glad we're going to go and enjoy it in the summer. And the thing is, whatever it is, they've got January to look forward to as well.
There you go. Exactly that. 100%.
that's what Orlando's all about. We're staying positive. There's always so much new stuff happening, and I'm looking forward to D23 this year because it's been the first one that Disney will have to with Epic Universe Open, and there's been quite a few sightings of Disney executives walking around Epic Universe with a notepad and pen. Saying, what do we need to do?
I'm staying quiet on that one because I won't include the first one, but the second one was they will be something themselves. But, yeah. I'll leave it at that bit.
So Ross, where can our listeners find more from the Orlando Adventures podcast?
Oh, I'm everywhere at the moment, aren't I? I just Orlando Adventures podcast. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube. I vlog as well. Instagram is Orlando Adventures podcast. I put a lot out. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I am here, there, and everywhere. But I like I said, I just love talking about Orlando. I love getting to talk with with you about it. And I do a couple of episodes a week. I do one episode where I talk about a certain topic, and then I do a guest episode every week as well, where I get to talk to amazing people from this this wonderful community about their experiences and what they're excited about as well. So I feel very, very fortunate to be in this space. And a year ago my podcast was in its infancy, so and I appreciate the support that you've given me in that time. So I'm very, very grateful, and we'll forever be grateful for it. So thank you very much.
Thank you again for being on today's show. So make sure you check out the Orlando Adventures podcast for even more of Ross's theme park adventures and insider tips. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do give us a follow, leave us a review, and share it with your Disney and Universal loving friends. So we'll be back on the 1st of August with the final part of our Epcot World Showcase tour, where we'll be exploring France, the UK, and Canada. So I know I'm ready for some delicious French ice cream and maybe some poutine too. So you can find everything we do over at gbmickeywaffle.com. And we're also on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Just search at GB Mickey Waffle. So we'll be back very soon with more waffle. Until then, we'll see you soon.
Now my wheels in motion and my